time to be alive, man, with music like this one. What a time to be alive. And I'm not alone. I told you it's after 8 o'clock. And you know what happens after 8 o'clock every Monday? We're sitting with the boys that not just dream about it, they live it. Money. Uncle Nefty Nef, what's happening, bro?
No, Buddha Abi. Best. Top of the morning.
Best. Sambo.
Salutations, my brother.
Salutations.
How's it?
Bagania.
Yes.
Hey, Mona.
What's up, Uncle Abi?
No, we've got a solution. Kelly Kumalo received the numbers. Saka Peter Chaile. We are sorted.
No, everything takes practice, you know, Uncle Abi. When you practice something for a long time, you're gonna become subconsciously competent. And you can see that Sidiso has put in his 10,000 hours. You know, towards honing his craft. I clap for you guys because no man. When I was looking at that guy's drawing, I was like, this is absolutely supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Expialidocious, boy. So
phenomenal drawing. A craft, you know. Yes, sir. But I can jam my school fees. Kata was to anana kwetele loka to arashemo le khano.
I think R29, man, R29. There was a guy who was taking a video clip. This guy's batutse lori ya chelete. By Bezagabom. That guy took the entire clip. Kosena mapodis. Mapodis actually left Agitza Feso Tima maybe. You know? So he was saying on the video while he was shooting the video, he was like, no, this police must be in. Because Jamestown was not far, Alberton was not far. Police could have just came in. How about the explosions? Because by Shapile, 2 explosions. Poof, poof.
Imagine now at a suburb, Uncle Abi. At a suburb. Like Albert. Like that's how messed up and that's how deep in a hole we are. Imagine now imagine how many people are policemen and policewomen in the country. But in a suburb where a truck that's in transit, that's carrying money, can easily just be robbed and, you know, everything can be normal the next day.
No, by Shapi, leave it grand.
I know.
Yeah. Police came there, they were just relaxed, you know, they were chilled. But those guys were trained, eh? But Baba Shapan Cash in Transit, they are trained, like they're military, you know, focused. They're militant, those guys. Abatamegaju. Batamagadi automatic rifle. Batamagadi explosives. They know exactly what they want. And it's the man. It's all for the man.
I agree that they are experts, but however, can't the people that are actually driving the car that's in transit, you know, the G4S, are they not supposed to be the best in their industry? Do you see now where the problem actually comes from? So now imagine you're putting your cousin Maleven there to drive for G4S because you want to eat an extra 5,000 rands per month. And something like that actually happens. And it costs, you know, the economy, or it costs the municipality or the country. That's money. That's gone away and that's wasted. And, you know, what the government is just going to do is they're just going to print more and our prices are going to expand. Like inflation is going to be there. They are going to return the money through us paying tax for the people that do pay tax.
So,
and not to waste any time, I think today we should just, you know, get into today's topic.
Let's get into it.
I wanted to talk about like a couple of stuff. And, you know, during this week, there were a lot of people that were asking me, you know, the top 3 topics that people actually requested me to touch on, and they wanted to hear what I think of is initially it's mental health, First, we're going to be touching on that.
Yeah, it's mental health. It's mental health month, right? It's a mental health month. Hey, Mona, I've got a doctor coming in. Come mental health, Sambo. So I get to
Yes.
mental health.
No, like, I'm a diverse guy. I'm a diverse guy. You know, I can do everything, Uncle Lady. I can do everything. I can talk about relationships. I can talk about, you know, friendships. I can talk about mental health. I can talk about money. Like, I'm basically a knowledge merchant. What I do is I always study. Like, I have this thing called The Tribe of Mentors. There's this other book by Tim Ferriss called The Tribe of Mentors, which actually, you know, it explains. And what it does, the short version of it, is you surrounding yourself with the people that you're going to need that are much more wiser than you in doing something, like I am right now. For example, you know, because now if you have a friend that's very big in mental health, or a therapist, like with me, I use Dr. Hakeem Anderson, Lisolang. So he's actually a therapist and a holistic doctor. So this guy will teach you about how the human mind works. And, you know, sometimes when you actually feeling certain emotions, you know, they will teach you about the imposter syndrome, about, you know, all the urges that can actually come, like, in life. So if you absorb information from people like that, I know also Mama Anthea is also very big on that, where she teaches people how to live subsistently, because, you know, the cure to any recession is actually self-sustenance. So if you're able to sustain yourself, you're able to control your mind and not let your mind control you. Because if you lose control of your mind, it will be controlled by someone else. So your mind starts being unhealthy when it's controlled by someone else. That's actually a reaction of your mind. That's actually a reaction telling you that I don't like being this avatar that you want me to play. This is what I'm capable of, and you are ignoring things. You are ignoring me. So people that suffer mostly from mental health are people that are going against what they should actually be doing, or they don't know that they don't know what they should be doing. So, you know, having a tribe of mentors where you have somebody that's mentoring you, finance, somebody that's mentoring you about monetary education, somebody that's mentoring you about mental health, somebody that's mentoring you about a success mindset, somebody that's mentoring you about property, somebody that's mentoring you about, you know, business in general, and also somebody that's also mentoring you about everything that you want in your life. Like, basically, mentors are a bridge, you know, between where we are to where we want to be. But people underestimate that. Like, the shortest way to get to where you want is to actually find a mentor. Because now, look at this. If older people listen to younger people, they move faster amongst older people. Because now, younger people, we have access to advanced knowledge, and we learn quickly. Older people have the experience and they have the money. So if they listen to us, they are able to move quicker and, you know, catch on to these things before their peers do. And they actually, you know, win in that regard. And also vice versa. If younger people also listen to older people, they move faster amongst younger people. The reason why I move so fast compared to my peers is because I listen to older people. Older people have wisdom, you know. You don't need, like, if you listen to older people and you have a mentor that's older, those people have wisdom. With your advanced knowledge, if you take it and you use their experience, their life experience, and what they are teaching you, you won't make the same mistakes that your peers usually would do. So now it's sort of like a cheat code, you know. So now if older people and younger people work together and they listen to each other, That's how we all win, and that's how it was.
Ya no malating ko Spane mona aule ntwana o tsena ko Spane ndaso ko mining uru wa Spana uru kwena kwena ba bitsangana ba mataka ba di for sure. So you are a supervisor there, you have to supervise all those makrokos. I've heard a guy saying yes, he had it tough at the mines because now he was an artisan. He had to go to the mines and he was given a responsibility of being a leader there. And old people didn't want to listen to him. They were like, hey baba, dala si yenza lento si yenza kaso. Ungazi ngento zakho la.
Understood. Which
So
is
it
why
makes
it's
sense.
also important.
So it makes sense when you say, you know, we need to listen to each other. Older people must listen to younger people, and the younger people must reciprocate the same.
Absolutely. And now you see the problem with that guy now. If that guy invested in communication, because people understand things differently. So now if you know how to communicate something to someone, you are able to sell it. Older people will listen to you. Old people listen to me all day. Older people actually listen to me more than younger people.
But I think you are dealing with a different type of older people. Bako mining tato skatlo bajuetsa. Ke for sure lo le.
There's somebody, like, there's a way to talk to anybody. So if you find out and you are able to, you know, analyze your situation, and you're able to analyze your surroundings to know, like, the type of character, like the you know the personality of the people, you know how people live, and you don't try to impose, you know, sekgowa sa gago mo bathong or the way you do things, and you actually talk to them in their language, or you have a buffer zone where you have one of them where you explain, good to listen, this is what I try to achieve. However, I don't know how to speak to these people. I'm smart, I'm an artisan, yes, I'm a leader, I can do this really well. But my work will not get done unless these old geezers listen to me. So I want to know how to talk to them. So now you have somebody that's going to be linking you with them that understands both where you're coming from and where they are coming from. Because I can tell you this, if you talk to older people, because older people firstly judge us because of our little experience, right? So now if you are able to communicate with them in such a way that you reach them, right? And then they see that what this young man is actually saying works for us, I'm telling you, they will come to you to come and ask for help.
Makes sense, my boy, makes sense.
And there's an example of that, like, you know, I could make many examples, but I need to head into the topic for today. So we will talk about mental health and a success mindset, how to actually have a success mindset. And, you know, financial literacy, we'll also be talking about financial literacy and also financial freedom, just a little bit of that. But, you know, firstly, before you have something, before you have those finances that you want so much, you need to be able to educate yourself. And the reason why now, there was actually a post that I wrote on Facebook. I think it was just in the midnight. It was around 3:39 that I wrote on Facebook, and I'll just quote myself here. I told people that when you meet a wealthy person, the worst thing you can actually do is ask them for money, which in most cases they won't give because they know that lacking money means that you do not know what they know. Their knowledge is what makes them money, because knowledge increases value and money follows value. So instead, ask them for information or knowledge or wisdom to increase your value, which will make you money. They will respect you more if you do this. Because like, if, you know, people that are wealthy, if you just ask them for money, it's like they're giving you fish or a meal for a day. However, if you ask them for knowledge on how to actually make money, it's like they're teaching you how to fish, which is more sustainable. And, you know, people that are wealthy become wealthy because they invest in things that are problem solving or they are sustainable. So now, if you if you go into something or a scenario, and most people, the mistake that most people make is that when they meet these type of people, or wise people, or people that are fulfilled, they don't listen to them, because now you are coming here, you are trying to ask for something. You must know how to get help, but in other ways, not the way that you actually want it. Because now what you want might not necessarily be what you need. And if I've been through what you've been through, and I'm telling you that doing it this way will work for you, and you have way less experience and way less knowledge than I do in that scenario or in that topic, and you become angry about it, and you rebuttal me, it's gonna affect you more than it actually affects me. So that's why it's important to know what to say, and when to talk and when to listen. So yeah, it also just goes with that.
Yeah.
And from what Uncle Nifty was saying, this weekend when I was actually gathering content, I went through and I found such a beautiful piece that talks about, being an actional person. Because when you do things, you do not become depressed. Depressed, let's take the word depressed, a deep rest. So this is like your mind actually telling you, like it's resting. It's telling you that I'm going into a deep rest because I do not like the character that you're trying to make me play. So now being an actional person, there's something called, like a lot of people know, a downward spiral, but there's also something called an upward spiral. Because now if you start doing good things and you start, keeping yourself busy, and you are in momentum and you do things with speed, like you there's an upward cycle, that's an upward spiral. So yeah, I'd just like to start off, when I'm talking about mindset, and telling people and sharing this piece that I actually discovered this weekend, which goes like: preparing to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Scheduling time to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Making a to-do list about doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Telling people that you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Messaging friends who may or may not be doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Writing a banger social media post about doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on yourself for not doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on other people that have done the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on obstacles in the way of you doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Fantasizing about all the adoration you'll receive once you've done the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how other people did the thing isn't doing the thing. Listening to this isn't doing the thing. But the only thing that's doing the thing is actually doing the thing. So people are so fixated in this mindset of, they look at a goal and they don't plan for it. Because if you fail to plan, you actually fail to plan. You actually plan to fail. Yes, you're not doing a thing. Like people have these, goals, and they have these big visions about life that, hey, I want to become a millionaire. I want to become a billionaire. I want to be able to live in this suburb. But what's your plan? Like if you ask them, what is your actual plan right now? What is the first step that you're actually taking to actually achieve your goals? They won't tell you about that. So if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. So now the reason why most people fail is because they become so fixated in this luxurious lifestyle that they see on social media, but do not actually do the work. Like they don't put in the work, and then they wonder why they do not get the results. It's sort of like trying to actually reach for the stars, but forgetting to actually, have a ladder, to have a step ladder. You're trying to go to the roof of the house, but you are not focused on aligning your ladder. You must focus on, the things that are current. If you focus and do your best in everything, in every little step, not only will you master a lot of stuff, you will have experience and you will reach your goals. So people should stop trying to take, shortcuts in life, because that's actually what leads us to this, catastrophic disaster that we have as people, in the land we live in.
And what's your take on this? What Sambo has been talking about, especially not doing a thing.
Okay, my 2 cents would be, like you said, if you're not planning, you don't have a plan, you're actually planning to fail, which is very profound, because it's one thing to dream of having this perfection and perfect, let's say, whatever, this perfect success. But if you're not doing, because everything needs an input in order for you to get an output. So your input will definitely determine how impactful your output would be, or how non-impactful it would be. So you do a lot, but if you do a lot smartly with a plan behind it, so you're not just doing things out of just haphazardly saying that, okay, I'm going to wake up and then I'm going to do things. If you actually plan to do things in a way that it will set you and catapult you from one point into another point, and it's taking you into the direction of what you want to ultimately achieve, your ultimate goal, and then that's how it will work out for you. So from short term, medium term to long term. So you have to have all of those things and backup plans for all of those things, because nothing goes smoothly in this life. There are other challenges. Things might happen. So you must know that.
Uncle live to my son. So you see, Uncle Lady, this is what I'm talking about. And also having people surrounding you that are good for your mental health and that are good for your energy, people that are very, very momentum driven, people that have big dreams, because your network is your net worth. Thing is, you're an average of the 5 people that you keep around me, that you keep around yourself. And that's why I roll only with a group of winners and a group of leaders, because now it's very, very hard to feel depressed when you're winning every day. Because now, if I'm with Uncle Nifty, if I am not doing the most, my boy is. If my boy is not, Marshall is. If Marshall is not, Mutswedi is. If Mutswedi is not, Uncle Lady is. If Uncle Lady is not, all my partners will be, they doing the thing. We are out here, we're doing the thing. So in life, you cannot be good at everything. And that's what we need to know. We need to learn how to unlearn what we've been taught, right? So you cannot be good at everything. And the best way to actually, get to your goals quicker is to collaborate with the people that do the thing. So now I know if I need anything with regards to motion pictures, I have Uncle Nifty. If I need to reach to be on radio and talk about business, I have Pitch Radio here. If there's war, I'm coming to your farm, Uncle A, to come and eat the food there. Yeah, if I need anything, I have farmer friends. I have friends in various industries. So this is actually you, and this is actually me pulling, all the resources of people that I'm going to need and working with them, to be able to achieve my goal. Because what you do, I might be able to do, but I might not just be as good as you. I know how to, design graphics and everything, but I know if you put Uncle Nifty here and you put me here and you like motion pictures, let's go. Yeah, I know that yeah. And then also similarly, if you tell me to hook a verse right now and you put in a beat, and I'm against you, obviously, man, I'm gonna lose. And also similarly now, when we're talking about things like designing a website, everything, Uncle Nifty can do that. And marketing, speaking, and lead generation. If you compete with me in there, I kill everybody. I finish up now. So that's the whole point. Like being able to, build a pool of, people that are like-minded like you, that actually solve problems. So the problem with most of our people is that, they chase money. And what you chase will run away from you. If you chase a dog, it will run. If you chase a cat, it will run. And also when you see people running, chasing you, you will run. So people that chase money runs away from them. Money follows value. So people that educate themselves to actually become valuable get money. That's why people start companies, corporations, and everything. And a typical example of this being, working at McDonald's maybe for 10 years and you're getting paid 3,000 rands per month. And then an engineer that took 6 months to actually make a self-service machine comes there and McDonald's buys all of it. The guy makes 100 million, 100 million rands or $100 million, you name it, for actually selling that to that corporation. Now, all the money that you've made in 10 years does not account for the work that he did for 6 months. And you are fired, you don't have skills. So people should be able to, learn on that. And, people should be able to, I always tell people that if you want to be a great leader, you need to be able to see patterns. Like you need to learn patterns. You need to learn how to see patterns, recognize patterns, and replicate patterns. Because now if you see a pattern, that this is where the world is actually going. So there's technology, there's, artificial intelligence, there's, virtual reality and everything. And then you use, whatever you have, your business model. If you're designing a model, it must solve a problem, but it must also adhere to the time that we're actually living in. So if you have, like us right now, we'll be the first radio station in the metaverse. Like we'll be there in the metaverse. We have our own land already. Uncle Nifty built it. Marshall has the patent. I'm already busy with the marketing, and we're just waiting for the right timing, where it goes on. Like on the 29th of last month, I was at the Meta Developers Conference, where now Mark Zuckerberg was actually talking about, the new lens that's coming out. So you're gonna have sort of like your sunglasses that are Meta wear, and you'll be able to tap into virtual reality doing that. So the way we go on Facebook is gonna be completely different, and WhatsApp and Instagram, and people are not aware of this. So now, for example, if you
see, we're talking about it later on.
And we've been doing that for like years now, right? So now, if people align their businesses with doing that, starting solution-based businesses that align with technology, that's what actually, it propagates yield. It means that you'll be able to get a result that's, more than average, that's above average. So people really need to learn how to see patterns, how to recognize patterns, and how to actually replicate patterns. But they shouldn't make the mistake of trying, I always see young entrepreneurs doing this. And because, I've been 10 years in this learning how to, structure businesses, learning systems, learning how money works, learning how technology works and everything, just so, I'm able to transition people and educate people, because I'm a protagonist. That's what I love doing for a living. I can talk for hours. I love doing that. So I took my passion which is, I found my ikigai. There's a Japanese saying called ikigai. When you
ikigai.
Yes,
I
and
know
you are
that guy.
able to monetize it. So I found my ikigai. So what people will do, for an example, maybe let me make an example about maybe any town. Okay, yeah, let me make an example maybe about my hometown, maybe in Freiburg. Imagine now if you have somebody that's, there's a kid somewhere out there in South Africa, actually, it could be like in any town, in any small town or village, that's busy now, and they're trying to design an app for dating, which will be very, very, it would explode, and it has a marketplace in New York, but not in South Africa, not in Freiburg, not in Mafike, not in Dryhats, not in Purumo, not in Kuruma. It doesn't have a marketplace there. So now most entrepreneurs try to actually start a business by solving first world country problems. So now you are designing a dating app, but there are potholes on the road, There's no water. Instead of investing into starting, a company, it's good to dream, yes, but you should start by solving problems that are around you. And the reason most entrepreneurs don't make money is because it's either they rush to, a marketplace that's nucleated. So now, for example, maybe if, let's make an example about Freiburg again. The problem there, the last time I was home, I tried. Yeah, nobody knows who did it. Yeah, that's my town. So for example, I tried requesting, I think it was a meter text or something, and I tried to go, like, I had to hunt for the numbers first of all. So you can already see that there's a problem there. There's a lack of private transportation, and secondly, if you're an IT specialist, you could design an app to solve that problem. Right? Thirdly, instead of buying an expensive car, you can buy a fleet of 10 cars. Instead of buying a 1 million rand Mercedes-Benz, you could have a down payment for 100,000 for 10 cars that are reliable, and you are employing 10 youth that are going to be solving that problem. You have your unemployed cousin or your unemployed brother or whoever needs a job to actually be sitting there in the call center and say that, guys, if you want, and then you can just let people know and send around locations to be like, go and fetch this person where, go and fetch this person where, go and fetch this person where. But now the businesses that people are starting, everybody, is trying to start a business that is already solved. Freiburg had lacked before, like it was lacking entertainment, the groove, what, and then there are people that started clubs like Backroom, Nkamudira, all of that. So now that problem is solved. It's fun. We'll talk about it. So the problem is solved. We need to go there. Nkamudira must come to Nkamudira. So now that problem is solved, right? It's solved. So now everybody who's starting is going to want to start owning a liquor store, or is going to start wanting to tap into that market when the problem is solved, and they ignore everything else. And people wonder why they get average results or below average results when they tap into a marketplace that's nucleated. And also let's take it broader right now. Let's look at it from, an institutional education perspective. Like right now, we used to say that we were an age of information, but now there's too much information. People need wisdom. Like how the internet started, the first type of internet was for collecting information, meaning that's when information was needed. That's why when you were going on Yahoo and everything, you could type in your name. They were asking for your name, your email, what, it was solved. The second type of internet came. Now technology has changed, which was Web 2, which was actually there for communication, like we are communicating right now. So that's when social media emerged. And the thing that people use so wrongly, social media for society, not friends. Social media is supposed to be used to actually get your word out there, so the people that are looking for you internationally all over the world can be able to find you by the type of content you put out. But so many people are becoming clowns on the internet and using it for all the wrong reasons. They're trying to flex on each other and look like they have money instead of actually focusing on making money. So that's like Web 2. It solved that problem. And then now we're going into Web 3, which is like now this new NFT thing, which is now this new metaverse thing, which is gonna be sort of like Grand Theft Auto. You're going to be getting on Facebook with your glasses, and you're going to be able to meet your friends like you would, in a video game. So now imagine how this is going to change the entire education system. A kid can literally attend class and listen to a lecture anywhere across the world. You could be able to attend a business meeting all across the world. So the aim is to capture the consumerization of assets, meaning replicating everything that's happening like in real life, from farming to anything, into now Web 3. So now if you have your Web 3, and maybe you have your land there, Uncle Lady, and then let's say maybe it was 1,000 hectares or something, and then you have 1,000 collections of those NFTs, which is a contract backed by that land. So now people will be able to invest, like crowdfund. The people that buy that NFT will be able to crowdfund because now that NFT is actually backed by the actual land. So now instead of going to a bank to have a loan and actually losing your equity and everything and whatever, people that are in the community that are seeing you trying to solve a problem are able to pull themselves together by actually identifying the type of problem that you're trying to solve on the internet. Because now you said, okay, this is my roadmap. I'm looking to raise 50 million rands, and then I'm selling one collection for this. And then I'm going to plant cannabis on the entire, 1,000 hectares. And I have an offtake agreement maybe with a certain firm or a certain whatever that you're exporting it for, and all the profits are going to be paid, in proportion to like what you invested in this land. So now you still have your land. People bought 1,000 collections. You can buy machinery, you can do whatever and achieve your goal, and the collection and the value of what people actually bought will be backed by the land. So now every time you make money, your community that crowdfunded you will be making money, and the value of that NFT will be making money, and they are able to resell it at some point. So that's actually, people becoming their own government. So this is just an example of, how we could start businesses that align with technology.
Yeah.
So you're still into farming, you're still doing this, but you're doing it in a conventional way that actually, agrees to Absolutely.
Makes a lot of sense, man. But Bangladesh took Russian nuclear electricity deal that South Africa refused. Jacob Zuma ka tswa mo stilong sa gagwe o na le deal le Putin ya go tlisa nuclear electricity systems here in South Africa. E leng gore Ramaphosa ona rejecta. Ya no, it's a ke Bangladesh ba ka tlhola ba nna le load shedding mo botshelong ba bona. Ke tsone dilo tse o di buang tse.
Like thing is the because people that have the capabilities to actually solve problems. Whenever you try to do this or you become a leader, right? Imagine now if somebody like myself who thinks this way and that's already doing so much on their own was put to be a youth leader like in the country.
Yeah.
And
we'll see progressive
government
stuff.
actually enforce that. Imagine the type of changes I would be able to make. Imagine now the people that are already doing so much in their own individual capacities. If they were given the power to be able to lead people, like people that know how to lead, that know how to build stuff, people that know how to do this. Imagine how much ass would be kicking in the world. So now, in the very moment they see that you are different and you cannot be bought, things will become very, very difficult for you, because people will do anything to protect themselves. Because, if they are in a position and they are not qualified for it, they will pull out any measure, they will destroy the country just to keep that seat, because they can't get it again if they meet somebody that's actually very competitive, which is also a problem that we would have now, which is so ridiculous. Have you ever heard somebody telling you that you are overqualified to get a job?
Yeah.
I once heard somebody say that to my mom, and I was like, what did they say? They're like, no, you are overqualified to get this job. So it means that the person who's supposed to be your superior is technically inferior to you in terms of experience and your knowledge.
Yeah.
So if you get in this job, you're going to fuck shit up for him. And he's going to lose his job. And you're going to make everything better. So instead of, let's sacrifice the people and let the idiot keep the job. So that's the whole entire thing about, us as a country. We really need to change our systems, and we really need to change, the way we operate. And, before I close it off, I just wanted to have the 7, there are 7 codes that I wrote down, which I actually, when I was gathering my content, and I wanted to leave people with them, just so we can interact more also on social media regarding
before you read out those 7 codes, when Romeo, before you read them out, Uncle Nefty, go na le sengwe se o batlang go tshwaela ka mokgwa Sambo ntse a dialola ka gone dikgang tse a go batla go tshwaela mo go sefeng?
No remarks.
No remarks. We nepile.
No remarks. Yeah.
Sambo tsena mo go tsone di le supa ka bonakwana.
Foot on neck. Yes. The first, the first quote or the first point is, a salary is the drug your employer gives you to forget about your dreams. So the very moment you start working for a salary and you chase that,
you know what we should do?
You forget about all the things that you plan.
Sambo, you know what we'll do? Just read them out. We'll get into detail on them next week, Monday.
Absolutely.
You're saying there are 7, right?
So a salary is, yep.
A salary is a drug?
A salary is a drug. Yes.
That will delay you to, realizing your dreams?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second point is, if you continue to wait for the right time, you'll waste your entire life and nothing will happen.
You actually will waste your entire lifetime.
Yes. If you continue to wait for the right time, you'll waste your entire life waiting and nothing will happen.
Mm.
And then the third point is, even when you trust your friends and family, never disclose everything about you.
Hey, bua nnete. Ke na le go itshola ke se ke buile tse ding mon. Shit, I shouldn't have. Yes.
Yeah, that's why it's important to keep people that, are available around you, because you can say everything and they'll make magic of it.
Yeah.
So the fourth point is, you lose 99% of your close friends if you start upgrading your life. So if you start having more, you aspire to become great, you lose people along the way.
Successful people will tell you it's very lonely up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the fifth point is, government and politicians are one giant corporation, and they're not coming to save you. They are not coming to save you, because politicians, if you look at the meaning of politician actually online, it will tell you, when you go on Google and then you search for what does a politician actually mean, the meaning of it is a person who acts in a manipulative and deviant way, typically to gain advancement within an organization.
Yes. So they're proudly calling themselves politicians, these guys.
Hey, Uncle Avy. Yeah. The information is right there. It's in the face of the people. So the sixth point is you'll be 10 times happier if you forgive your parents and stop blaming them for your problems, which is what most people do. Like they're like, oh my goodness, I can't become successful because I don't have rich parents. You must work hard. Find a way to use, less for more.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, you get further in life by doing that.
Nice one.
And the seventh and
one.
final point.
Yeah.
It's to train yourself to let people win arguments when you don't see them conducive. Know when to walk away.
Hey, that's super cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's super cool. So, hey Mona, yeah, ke yone we nepile. La gago la bofelo ke le feng wena Sambo pele ga Uncle Nefty a etswalla.
Yeah, but I just wanted to tell people that, we need to really retrace back to where we come from and tap into our conscious self, We need to start being more kinder to each other and sharing information and sharing resources and working together, collaborating, because competition only happens at the bottom. The people at the top collaborate. We need to go back to the first base, which is called love. People need to love themselves. They need to love their neighbors. They need to love their parents and love everyone. Otherwise, peace, love, and light is too much heat for the boys and the girls to handle. It's yours truly, the super studdily, goldenly, wonderful, galactically gorgeous, and dangerously handsome entrepreneur, RomeoTshepisoSambo.
Thank you so much, Sambo.
People can find me and continue this conversation on Facebook at RomeoTshepisoSambo, on Instagram at Romeo_Tepi96, and my business page is at 72 Degrees Ltd, both on Instagram and Facebook. And where I explain such topics like this in length, I have a YouTube podcast, the virtual one, which is called The Podcast You Need, the Talk with ThePisoSambo. So people, let's get it. Have a lovely week. Phenomenal from your immaculate brother. Thank you.
Nice one. Sambo. Relebogile mosimane tsore tla boga pere dira mo bekeng e tlang. Uncle Nefty, a re tswala o tsena, re tswala nkhonne ke tsatsi la Mantaga. We looking at a week ahead. Ako re repe wena we tswala ja.
Basically just add value to value and do not devalue value by not adding value to value. So that's it. My words to people, and then absolutely. Until next time, which is tomorrow for me, the Pitch Radio family, and then peace, love, and light.
Nice one, gents. Murimukyo rwa kapere dira kamoso. Be true to yourself. Oskai kaketsa. That's my last word. Netigyo neo. Klebogile banna ba itsuri dira re bua gape kamoso. Uncle Nefty, Sambo. Next week Monday utiaga an hour of excellence. Danko. It's 5 minutes after 9. Let's do it again tomorrow. I'll be having Nambita tomorrow. Nalangal Neftir Klabernale Nambita on radio. We'll be interviewing her between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Banajalole Mosari Wakono Kono, Kolimpopo, Ko Meropa Casino this coming weekend. My daughter is celebrating. She's turning this weekend. Hey, happy birthday to everyone once more. Last week,
Yo, pitch.